everyone, welcome back to another episode of Vegan and Fit series, episode 4. I can't believe it's already episode 4. So today we're gonna talk about how to build muscle on a plant-based diet with a special guest from the US. She's Brooke, and we're gonna talk about all the myths that we all know around the protein, debunk them, and we're gonna talk about all the tips that can help you to thrive on a plant-based diet, build the muscle and lose the weight. So we're gonna do that with Brooke. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm really good. It looks sunny there.
It is. It's very sunny.
Oh no, here is freezing. Has been snowing, so it's horrible.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's like super warm and sunny here. It's a really nice day.
Oh no, I'm jealous now. Well, first of all, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Did you have a nice celebration? So thank you so much for participating in this series. I'm so excited to have you in this series because, of course, you're a strong, inspiring woman, and your, profile is amazing. So I tell all of my followers to go and follow you. So inspiring, so inspiring. So we're going to talk today about how to build muscle on a plant-based diet. We'll talk about the nutrition side and the training side because, of course, you're a personal trainer, so you can give all your, tips and insights about this, this argument. So what we can do is, if you want to introduce yourself and then maybe, tell your background, and then we'll go on with a question.
Sure. My name's Brooke. I've been a personal trainer for about 2 years. I did in-person training for a while, and then I solely went online last year. And it's actually better that way because I can exclusively work with my ideal clients, which are vegan women, which is great. And then I've been vegan for almost 3 years now. And I've been working out about 4 years. So yeah.
Amazing. So how did you start to approach fitness? You always did weightlifting, or how did you start?
In the beginning, I really didn't know what I was doing. I knew I was unhappy with where I was at, and I was really out of shape. My asthma was horrible. I could just feel my health deteriorating. My skin was bad. So when I first got in the gym, I just kind of did whatever I felt like was making me sweat and felt really difficult, I guess. And so a lot of cardio, some machines, I didn't really have a plan. I just kind of winged it, and it got me some fair results in the beginning, but definitely hit a plateau. And that's when I kind of had to start doing more research and really learning about training principles and all that good stuff. So I would say in the beginning I was just winging it.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely now I definitely use progressive overload, weight training, some cardio, minimal cardio, but I definitely mostly focus on heavy compound lifts and weight training.
That's amazing, amazing. So why did you become vegan, and how long you been vegan now for?
So I've been vegan almost 3 years. And when I first went vegan, it was mostly for health reasons. I watched What the Health on Netflix, and I was super into training and nutrition back then. But I felt like a huge hypocrite to be working out so hard and training other people, but eating food that's killing me and, clogging my arteries. And so I felt like something had to change. And then, of course, when I started doing more research, I saw what factory farms were like. And so I always say that's kind of what kept me vegan, was because, health only gets you so far, but the animals has really kept me vegan because it's an ethical problem for me. It's as much as I love dogs, and I've rescued dogs my whole life, and I've been super active in rescuing animals, it's hypocritical to rescue some but not others. So I just felt like it was the right thing to do, ethically and health wise, physically. So
That's exactly how I start. I actually start for health reason because I was pescatarian for a long time. And honestly, I just couldn't give up fish, and it took me a while. I wanted to go fully vegan. But, sometimes you have to do it gradually because it takes time. Doesn't matter that, it takes time. As long as you get there, it's all good in a
Yeah,
way. So
exactly.
then I start to watch all the other documentaries on Netflix and all the other stuff. And then exactly like you, that's why I kept vegan, all the research and everything. Then I felt amazing with my training and all the other stuff. It just, one after the other, all the benefits, they just, came up.
Exactly.
So,
There's so many.
yeah, exactly. So, there is, of course, lots of myth that I want to debunk with you today around that you cannot build muscle in a plant-based diet. Because, of course, the protein, we all know the question that they pop all the time, right?
Yeah.
So, do you think there is a difference on the quality of the muscle that you build with animal product or without? What do you think?
Definitely not. I mean, I have put on a ridiculous amount of muscle on a vegan diet, way more than I ever did eating meat. And I was eating meat for about a year and a half when I first started working out in the gym, and I've been able to put on way better quality muscle. I mean, you can scroll through my Instagram and see the difference. I mean, my upper body has changed tremendously. So it's totally a myth. It's all the same. Essential amino acids, like it's all the same, whether it's from plants or from animals. It's just about
Yeah.
having the right structure. So like as long as you're getting enough protein and enough calories, you'll build the
Yes.
muscle. It doesn't really matter where it comes from, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Because I was actually the same. So when I started lifting weight, I was pescatarian, like I told you, and then I went vegan. So everybody was telling me you cannot build muscle on beans. You have to
Yeah.
supplement with protein powder and all the other stuff that we all know. So do you think it's actually necessary to supplement with protein powder? Do you supplement? Or do you think it's just because it's convenient? What do you think?
I would say for like your normal everyday person, I think it is pretty essential just because it's so convenient. And I do supplement. I usually do 2 to 3 scoops a day. It really just depends. But I think, for like a sustainable diet, I think supplementing with protein powder is pretty essential just because it's so easy to get in your protein that way. Eating raw vegan, like, props to all those people. I think it's amazing. But with people who have really busy lives and kids,
Mhm.
it can be kind of difficult to prepare all those meals. So I think it's really easy to just supplement with protein powder, and then there's really no excuses, So,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because I usually say to my clients that 80% I would like to eat them, have them whole food, 20% just the convenient food. So all the
Exactly.
protein bars and the shake, just because it's more convenient. We all have busy life.
Yeah.
But I always say that, of course, everyone, even if it's not vegan, they supplement with protein powder if they want to build muscle.
Yes.
Because as we all know, I guess you eat a lot like me if we lift in weight. Yes. So we have a lot of meal during the day. So of course it's just convenient to add that shake instead of another plate of something, right?
Right.
So yeah, so I think that's So all the question, everything that we talk about, of course, we all know the answer, but for our followers, we'll just discuss them because not everybody know. And if someone wants to just try sometime for all this myth, they just like, thinking, it's too difficult. So that's why I started this series to just share and try to, give more information about it. So what is the best protein source that you think is necessary when you want to build muscle? So of course there is so many. We all know that not all of them they will food. Like certain type of soya, you need to be careful which one you choose and all this stuff. So what do you think is the best for like lean mass?
Oh, I would say my absolute all-time favorite, and forgive me if I say it wrong. Every time I think I know how to say it, I end up saying it wrong. But is it Satan? Satan? I don't know.
Yeah, Satan. Yeah, sorry.
Is a
Satan, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic because it's so much protein and there's so much you can do with it. And you can buy it pre-made in the store. So like Gardein has an awesome beefless tips. No Evil Foods has a really, really good one. Or if you don't want all the sodium and stuff, you can make it yourself with Vita Wheat Gluten.
Yeah, exactly.
I think by far that is hands down my favorite. You can make so many meals with it. It's so delicious as far as texture. Like if you're not a tofu person, that's the way to go for sure.
Yeah, I don't eat too much satan just because I'm gluten intolerant, so depends. I need to just be careful around this stuff. So I do eat soya and all the other stuff, but I just need to be careful which one I buy, and you know, if it's been processed and all the other stuff, try to get all the lean protein source. So what do you think about carbs around the plant-based diet? Because we all know that carbs don't make you fat, and we all know that plant-based diets got a lot of carbs just because there's a lot of beans and all this stuff. So people, they're sometimes afraid to eat carbs, and that's why they don't go vegan, because they think they will need to eat a lot to have the necessary requirement, you know, daily requirement. So what do you think, and which one do you think is the best around training? So pre-workouts, do you use any carb source that do you think is the best?
You know, I usually train fasted early in the morning.
Okay.
But what I'll tell my clients to eat is like a slice of Ezekiel bread or banana, or trying to think of some other good carbs. Even like oats are really good carbs, give you lots of energy. So yeah, I mean, carbs in and of themselves will not make you fat. Calorie surplus makes you fat. So if you're eating more than you burn, you will gain fat. But if you eat 600 calories worth of carbs in a day, you're not gonna gain fat. I mean, it's just impossible. And just to give you an idea, I at least eat like 200 grams of carbs a day. So it's very possible to have a lean body and eat tons of carbs. And yeah, like you're saying, putting them around your training is optimal. So I always tell my clients to always have carbs after their meal. It's just going to help with the recovery process.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So going back to the protein, how much protein do you suggest or advise to have to your clients? Do you think, do we need to eat protein to each meal to build muscle? Or what do you think?
You know, everybody's different. So that's the thing, is everybody's very different. I mean, somebody could have the same age, height, weight as me, but because they don't have the same amount of lean muscle mass, they won't need as much protein. So everyone's different. So you just want to make sure that you have the right guidance and you have the right structure and customized meal plan. No cookie cutter plans, because it's not going to work for you. So you want to make sure you always have the right plan for your body and your goals. So it's really going to vary depending on everybody, but usually 0.8 to 1 gram of lean mass, not body mass, but lean mass is typically kind of the sweet spot where people get the best results.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I usually do the same. Of course, it depends on which goal do you have and all the other stuff around, but I usually do the same, and I try to get like at least some around each meal, just because it's easy for absorption, fiber content, all the other stuff, you know, just easier, I will say.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. So around building muscle, what do you think is better, macros or calories counting?
I would say, you know, calories for the normal everyday person. So my clients, for example, we just do calories and protein, just because macros can be a little bit overwhelming to track all of those macronutrients and hit them every single day. It can be a lot for an everyday person, and we have lives, we have, you know, plenty of other things going on. So it's hard to track every single detail. So I would say if you can get the hang of calories and protein, maybe try macros down the road. But so that, you know, you don't get that all or nothing mentality, like I'm either hitting all my numbers or I'm not, and then screw it and then falling off track. Just start easy, you know, baby steps, and start with calories. And once you can get your calories down, maybe then down the road add some macros in.
Yeah, I do start like this, and then along the way, I just teach my client how to count macros, basically, in the easiest way possible, just with portion size and all the other stuff, because sometimes it can be just a bit addictive to just count the calories. And you get sometimes too much because they think, oh, if I have the same calorie bar I have in chocolate, I can still, you know, lose weight and all this stuff. So sometimes you build bad habits and it's not ideal, you know? So I'll do a mixture of both. And yeah, I try to just teach and educate all the clients. Yeah, so yeah, let's see what's next. I had something that I wanted to ask. Let's see. So variety around protein. Do you think do we need to swap sources every day or each meal, or do you think, you know, we can just eat protein, the same protein all the time? Because if we're thinking about all the bodybuilding and fitness, they usually have like rice and chicken, right? So they have usually the same at each meal. But I think for me, for example, I just can have more variety because there is more choice. So what do you think? What do you suggest?
I mean, if you're a bodybuilder, yeah, it's probably going to be better to, you know, stick with the same proteins just for meal prepping purposes. But I would say for the normal everyday person, you're going to get bored because most of us don't have that mentality of food is fuel. I wish we did, but it's just not like that. We have a lot of emotions and enjoyment around food. And so to be able to keep it up and maintain it for the long term, you're definitely going to want to switch up your protein sources just to keep it interesting and have variety. Like, do you need to do it every day? Probably not, because then what would be the purpose of meal prep? But like if you did tofu for 1 week and then did tempeh the next week, and then, you know, whatever, chickpeas the next week, whatever it may be. Yeah, that would be a good way to keep it interesting and vary your meals so you don't get bored and get tired of it and get burnt out. But, you know, like still stay on track and get enough protein.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what I do and what I advise all the time, it depends for me which kind of carb do you have with. Because let's say you have something heavy like rice, you will avoid to put like a can of chickpeas as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it depends around which meal you will have which kinds of protein. And do you suggest then to, of course, meal planning and bulk cooking?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It will save you every single time. You're so much less likely to go out and buy something or just skipping meals or whatever, you know, it may be. You're way more likely to stay on track if you prep and prepare. It's just there. So you're going to eat it.
It's easier, yeah. It's easy, it's convenient, it's control. You have no choice to go off plan because it's there. What is in the container you're going to eat? You're not going to eat anything else on the side.
And you put in the time to meal prep and you spend money on meal prep, so you're definitely going to eat what you make.
Yeah, I think you just stick with it because, first of all, because of course you spend time doing it, and then of course you're already prepared mentally that there's gonna be that, and that's it, you know. It's just, I think, easier, just easier all around. And then, like I said, not many people have time to cook every day. If you want to make sure you have all fat loss or building muscle in a healthy way, it's just the best way. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the training side. So to build muscle, let's say in a sustainable way, we're not talking about fast tracking, yeah? So of course it takes time. How many times per week do we need to lift weights?
Oh, I would say it's different for everybody. At least 3, at least minimum 3. Is that for optimal results? No, I would say probably 5 days is optimal. But between 3 and 5, you can get really good results with 3. You're just really going to want to be on top of diet.
Yeah. So one of the questions I had as well, it was, let me see. Oh, so can I build plant-based muscle at the same time of no vegans? So basically it's like, oh, do I need to wait longer time just because I'm not eating animal products? That was one question.
No, that's a myth, because you can still get the same macros on a vegan diet, or protein or calories, whatever it is that you're tracking, both work equally. So Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just different sources, but your body doesn't recognize the difference. It's still all the same essential amino acids, and
Yes.
and it's actually better because you're not getting any of that cholesterol that's clogging your arteries and saturated fat. I mean, all of that is not in a plant-based diet. It only comes from animal products, so
Yeah,
it's actually
yeah,
much cleaner.
exactly. Yeah, another question was, do I need to lift heavier to build muscle? So, what do
Yeah,
you think?
yeah. I mean, yeah. To put on some good mass, like you're gonna need to lift heavy. I mean, the truth is you can incorporate progressive overload through adding reps.
Yes.
So if you can't go heavier, add reps, but there gets a point where, you know, you can't do like 30 reps in, you know, one set.
Yeah.
So definitely you're gonna need to lift heavy, and you know, heavy is relative, right? So like it's just about lifting heavier than you did last week. Do you have to lift
Yeah.
heavier than the strongest power lifter in the world? No, you just need to lift heavier relative to what you did last time.
Absolutely. I think sometimes it's not just actually the weight, because you can progress with intensity, just posing the rep, the set, just adding supersets, or all the other stuff that you can do just not
Exactly.
by adding the weights. So that's why I think people sometimes there is a bit of misconception, because they think you just need to add weight all the time to have the result, which what I just figure out that sometimes as like slower I have that rep, more muscle connection I have, and I can just muscle man connection. So of course I can just really, for example, squeeze on the bottom of the rep and all the other
Yeah.
stuff. They make a difference. If you know the basic, I would say that. I think just mastering the basic first, and then go and have a look all the other stuff that you can tweak and just adjust. Yeah.
Yeah. Tempo works too, just like you said. So tempo, reps, weights,
Hmm.
volume, adding another set, that all works. Yeah.
Yeah. So another question that someone asked, don't get mad at me. Someone
Okay.
said it's more difficult to build muscle as a woman than a man.
I mean, I don't necessarily think it's a gender issue. I think it's more genetic. So I think that some
Mhm.
people are more prone to they're hard gainers. So like some people have a really, really hard time building muscle. They're very naturally thin. Like
Like
if they
tomorrow.
didn't, yeah, like if they didn't work out and they ate whatever they wanted, they'd still be thin. But then you also have people who they're hard losers, which is kind of me. It's really hard for me to shred fat, but I can build muscle very easily with
I
the
am the
right
same.
principles. Yeah. So it's like kind of genetically what your body is more inclined to. And then the hard gainers, they're great because once they do put on the muscle, they can get shredded like super easy. So there's benefits to both. I think it's more of a genetic thing though.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think on a certain level, anyone can build muscle, but the
Yeah.
visual would be different, depends of the body type that you have, I think. Yeah, so maybe it can take longer if you have ectomorph, or all the other stuff that we are. But
Yeah.
this will depend, don't matter if you are a plant-based or not. I
No.
mean, it doesn't matter. So just to put out there. Okay, so let's have a look at the question. So the best exercise to grow quads. I think just because I put a picture out there and they all see your big quads and they're all jealous.
Well, thank you. I'm trying to get monster quads. That's my goal for 2021.
Me too. We
So
have the
we'll
same
see.
one.
I would say front squats are one of the
Okay.
best. Yeah.
Yeah, I love axe squats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, leg pressing. I think that's my favorite.
Leg press
Oh,
is good too. Yeah, leg press is great.
good. It's good. Okay, so let's see. So someone is asking, what's your goal for this year? So building quads. Anything else?
Oh yeah, I
Like,
really want to I really want to work on I do want to grow my quads. Biceps definitely. I want kind
mhm,
of more like well-rounded biceps. Trying to think of what else. I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, of
okay.
course, like I have my own like I mean business goals, but yeah, I mean, help, you know, I'd love to help more people and help more women get strong and in shape and, you know, achieve everything they want on a plant-based diet. And yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So, let's have a look. So, if you had 3 tips that you want to tell someone they want to start plant-based diet and get into fitness, what you will advise? So, 3 tips, 3 things that are essential that you think someone
I
needs
would
to do.
say, one, do your research. So, you know, Google recipes and Google the benefits, all of that good stuff. Definitely do your research. I would say, 2, join a support group, like a Facebook group, or, you know, I don't know, maybe like an even in-person group, maybe if you have one in your area. And that way you can kind of connect with
Yeah,
other people and get some motivation
yeah.
and have some maybe more recipes and stuff like that. And then I would say, 3, probably just find someone who really, really inspires you. I mean, there's so many people on social media now. There's YouTube, there's Facebook, there's all kinds of different outlets, and follow them and just kind of stay tuned into what they do, and just kind of model yourself in your diet after that.
Absolutely, yeah. So, apart from the nutrition side, how do you support veganism in general? That is one of my curiosity that I wanted to ask you.
Oh, well, I love to volunteer at this great sanctuary. It's called Full Circle, if anyone's interested. It's in Warm Springs, Georgia. So I'm from Atlanta, and it's about 2 hours from there, and it is a beautiful place, and they rescue all sorts of animals, and they get to live out their entire lives there, and they treat them
Oh,
medically, and it's a really, really beautiful place. So definitely check it out. And you know, of course, you know, with your dollar is like a huge one. So donating to sanctuaries. My boyfriend has a great sanctuary, Friends Not Food Rescue. So
oh,
definitely check that one out too. And of course, you know, like making good choices in the grocery store, like all of that matters, you know?
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think sometimes people have just misconception about plant-based and veganism just because they don't understand that there's so much more apart from the
Yeah.
nutrition that we can do. Buying cruelty-free stuff, buying, you know, all this stuff. And there's not much information out there because usually I think just because nutrition is the fun part, we
Yeah.
all, you know, yeah, we
And
all
it makes you
just
feel good.
yeah, it's better to start that way. But of course, there's more way that we can just support this lifestyle because it is a lifestyle choice. So
Yeah.
yeah, you should be happy if you did take that choice. It's just something that you should do. Like you're happy to do it. So let's
Yes.
see if I have any question for you. Okay, so your favorite protein powder, if you have anything that you use all the time or
Oh yeah, CM
brand.
supplements, Conscious Muscle, the vegan banana, my favorite for sure.
Okay, I don't
Yeah,
know
it's
that
so good.
brand actually. I don't know that one.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, look it up. CM supplements. Oh, it's so good.
Okay.
The vegan banana is so good in fruit smoothies. It's like to die for.
Okay, so I have 2 brands that I'm using and I'm switching all the time. The first one is Apply Nutrition, just because it's just easier to get it here, and it's the one that because sometimes they can be really heavy, you know what I mean? Because sometimes there's like
Oh
rice,
yeah.
protein, all the other stuff inside. So Apply Nutrition. The other one is JP Nutrition. So that is like a UK one. So I don't think you will find it there. I'm not sure.
I don't think I've. Yeah.
Um, yeah, because there's so many out there, but sometimes or they haven't got enough protein, or they put too much additives and all the other stuff that are not great if you're looking for a lean source, of course. So let's see if I have more, and if not, let's have a look. Okay, someone is asking best exercise for shoulders, or which one is your favorite?
Ooh, lateral raises, my
All
favorite.
right, okay.
Yeah.
I just love shoulder press. I think that's one of my favorite.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of them. I think if we love lifting weights, you won't find an exercise that you don't like.
Yeah.
There's few maybe,
Yeah.
not that many.
Love hate, I think.
Love hate, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Another question, do you train abs and how many times per week do I need to train abs to have visible abs? I know already your answer, but come on.
So I train abs about once a week because, I mean, I do notice more definition when I do train them.
Okay.
But you do work abs in a lot of your compound exercises like squats and deadlifts, so you don't have to hit them as often.
Yes, yeah. I think that I answer all the time that you build the abs in the kitchen because sometimes things people think I'll do 100 of crunch and I'll have abs. And yeah, unfortunately, it's a question that I get all the time. What's the best exercise to see my abs? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So,
yeah,
okay.
It's diet. So, it's definitely diet.
I know. So I think we have a couple of questions here. Let's have a look if I can see some. And then let's see. I'm not sure if it's for me or for you, but how much do you weigh, if you want to say?
Yeah, I don't mind. I weigh about 175.
Oh, I don't know. I do in kilos, sorry.
Oh, kilos. God, I have no idea. Sorry. I have no idea.
I need to look it up. So, okay. So I will answer. I'm on prep, so give me a second. I think I am 67 kilo, but I'm not sure. I'm just saying in kilo. Let's have a look.
I have no idea what that would be, but
I'm not sure, to be honest. Do you try bread or no? Or do you eat bread or no? I'm not sure. Do you eat bread?
Yeah. Yeah, I do eat bread. Yes, love it.
Okay, another one is, which protein is best, whey or pea protein?
Pea protein, for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. I actually did a post about it, about all the difference, and that was one of the questions that I had along the beginning when I swapped to plant-based diet, that everyone was asking me about whey isolating, all the other stuff. You know, it's the best protein. You cannot get the same protein on the vegan protein powder, and I think it was the opposite. First of all, because I can digest my vegan protein much better, and I can absorb much better, especially after the workout. I don't know if it's the same for you.
Yeah, I mean, and there's no cholesterol or anything, you know, anything bad in it. It's just clean. It's just from vegetables, so.
Yeah, just to put out there, we're not meant to drink milk. So just this as a whole.
Yeah.
So that's why there's so many, I think, people that are intolerant to lactose and all the other stuff nowadays. There's so many. So definitely, yeah. So I have this question on someone asking, what the best protein powder must have, you know, because there's many that have brown rice powder, pea powder, Ep.4 and all the other stuff. What do you think is the best for you?
I mean, I think it depends on like kind of your sensitivities. I mean, like for me personally, I really like pea protein, but I think everybody's kind of different, and you just kind of have to figure out like what digests best for you.
Definitely.
They're all good. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think the same. So yeah, I'm just seeing if there is another question. If not, I'll leave you. Let's have a look. Wonderful talk. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So if there is anything that you want to add, or you know, you want to say anything before we close?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And I mean, I've had a lot of fun. It's been awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's so interesting to just add different point of view sometimes and just share it, because sometimes, especially in, let's say, vegan community, we are too judgy. Do you think?
Yes.
Do you think sometimes? So I love just to hear someone else's opinion and just put out there that we're not perfect.
Right.
All
love and support. That's it.
Exactly. So it's actually the same. So thank you so much. If you want to rewatch this episode, it will be on my YouTube channel, maybe in the next couple of days. Thank you so much again. and you have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. If you have any question, please pop it here below, and don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you tune in for next week episode. It will be live on my IG, on my Instagram. I will put it here so you can watch it live, and then you can rewatch it here. I will upload it here on YouTube a few days later. So you make sure you make good choices, you take care of yourself, and thank you for watching. Bye.